What's up, guys? My name is Spartan, and this is episode 5 of the Beginner Progress series. Today is going to be a pretty big episode, but first and foremost, a huge shout out to Zero from the Discord server for getting me these cool background graphics that I'm now using in my videos and also my live streams. And I apologize for not really posting in a little bit. As some of you guys know, I was sick. I had a little bit of like a cold. Still not 100%, as you can tell by my voice, but the show must go on. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about the stats page. So we are at 13 billion lifetime earned coins, 659 stones. Like I mentioned, we are not buying stones or event boosts or anything outside of the first 3 initial packs. We are still pretty much exclusively farming tier 1. We did hit an all-time high of 6,500 waves. Really happy with that. I think once I get up to like 7,000, maybe 8,000, I'll try tier 2 and see how I do there. But I've already tried a couple times, and seemingly I just get way more value out of tier 1 still. Whenever you're first starting this game, tier 1 is really going to be where you stay for quite a long time. And it just kind of, it is what it is. It's part of the incremental increase of this game. It just takes a while. First and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about where we are in the workshop. Alright, so here's the workshop. We still do not have landmines upgraded, and we also do not have super crits upgraded. And I've touched on this in the past videos that I've done for this series, but the main reason is so that I can basically rely on free upgrades to get the absolute most out of the rest of these stats. The main things I need are my EHP stats, so mainly health, a little bit of health regen, a little bit of defense absolute, but mainly health. And in the attack tree, we're really relying on getting our damage as high as possible. Both crit factor and damage per meter are able to get maxed during the run, so that's generally no problem. But the main thing I need is as much damage as possible so that I could properly utilize lifesteal. So that has been pretty helpful, not upgrading this other stuff, just relying on free upgrades to get these more important stats done. So with that, let's go ahead and check out the utility tree. One thing that's a little bit different, we did unlock enemy level skips. So we now have enemy attack level skips and enemy health level skips. The main difference between these two will depend on if you are running an EHP build or a more glass cannon type build, a damage focused build. So because I am running an EHP build, relying mostly on effective hit points and also a little bit of damage for the sake of lifesteal, I am trying to put a major emphasis on enemy attack level skips. As you can see, it's very expensive to get these levels in. There is nothing wrong, because I'm using free upgrades, there's nothing wrong with me just unlocking this first level of each of these so that I can hopefully get some free upgrades going during the run. A little bit of a longer term goal, I would like to max out recovery amount and max recovery so that I can just have free upgrades exclusively go to these two stats. Mainly, the main thing I'm going to focus on at this point is going to be enemy attack level skips, but it's not that huge of a priority for me at the moment. I'm still just, like I mentioned, getting quite a bit of utility out of the free upgrades. So, where I've been putting my coins for the meantime is twofold. First and foremost, I have been upgrading my modules. So anytime I have an available level in mostly my generator and also my armor module, I will upgrade them because it gives me more of the base stat, and it gets me one step closer to unlocking some more of these module effects. So I've been just trying to slowly raise these up. As you can see, we just actually maxed out the anti-cube portal. In the actual workshop where I've been putting my coins is mostly just in health. I've been just trying to get health up. If I can get health up to like, oh wow, we're literally one level away from 1,000. So that's going to be really nice. But this in particular is really what's carrying me through tier 1 farming. It's been really pretty nice. And now let's go ahead and talk about my stones, because stones are definitely something that are very important and very easy to mess up. So in terms of my stones, I put a couple levels into some of this stuff. I put a level into duration for Golden Tower. I also put a level into bonus for Golden Tower. My main focus, as I mentioned, is going to be gradually dropping the cooldowns on my Death Wave and my Golden Tower until they sync up with my Black Hole. That's going to be my primary focus until I'm able to at least get probably a Mythic Multiverse Nexus. At the point that I get a Mythic Multiverse Nexus, I will likely switch to using that. You can see, actually, I'm using it right now at the moment. So if I click into the run, you can see what my MBN cooldown is. Let me just pause it, and I'll turn all of these off and then turn them all back on. You can see it's basically 4 minutes and 33 seconds, but all 3 of these are currently synced, which is really, really important. So we're going to see really quickly, if I do one click into each of these cooldowns, where that actually takes me. So I'll do a click into Death Wave cooldown, and then I'll do a click into Golden Tower cooldown. And I think while it's still pretty cheap, I'm actually going to put a click into Golden Tower duration. That should be pretty good. Maybe I'll go ahead and put a click as well in Black Hole size, because I'm definitely going to need more of that pretty soon. At this point, while everything is like under 100 stones, you really can't go wrong with upgrading any of this stuff, with an exception of the Black Hole cooldown. I would advise people not to really mess with that until you're either fully aware that you're going to be using Multiverse Nexus, or you achieve a natural sync and you can bring them all down organically. So we just did that. Let's go ahead and see what our cooldown is now. So I turn all of this off and then turn it all back on, and we're okay. So we dropped like 10 seconds just by doing that. So 4 minutes and 26 seconds. Actually, I think what I'm going to do for the meantime is throw in my Primordial Collapse. So we'll do that. Put in Primordial Collapse. Go ahead and level this up. And we'll go ahead and also level up our Astral Deliverance. I've been using this to farm with just for the sake of getting the extra bounce shot range. That's been pretty helpful for me. Just, again, trying to focus on keeping the enemies away from my tower. That is the name of the game with the idle tower defense. Keeping the enemies away from your tower. And really quickly, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, kindly consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see more of this content, as well as like the video and drop a comment below and let me know how your tower's going. Also, if you have any questions, tower related or otherwise, feel free to drop them in the comments below, or consider joining our Discord server. We have a Discord server with 2,200 people in it. It's a really cool place with all sorts of different levels of experience, and we'd love to see you there. It's a really cool community. So if you're not already in the Discord, check the link in the description below. Feel free to join and pop in and say hi. With that, that's actually going to wrap up the workshop. So let's go ahead and talk about the cards. Alright, so in terms of the cards, this is actually a pretty big day. So we currently have 9 card slots, and we're about to have 10. I think it's about time. We're going to go ahead and unlock our 10th card slot, which is really effectively the absolute minimum that we need to have a proper farming setup. For those of you that want to see, this is what I've been using for farming. All of the basic econ cards, so coins, enemy balance, crit coin, cash, wave skip, wave accelerator, and after that, we basically had stuff that will help us in terms of EHP. So extra defense is really important. Health is really important. Berserker is actually really important because of the lifesteal that you get. And with that, we're actually going to throw on attack speed as our 10th card. This will help us a lot for just kind of kicking the enemies back, keeping them away from our tower. We'll get a 1.7 times increase to our attack speed, so that's going to be pretty valuable for us. I may actually experiment, I should say, as well, and throw on the damage card and just see how big of a difference that makes. And really, whichever one of these give me more waves, that's what I'm going to use. It just makes sense. In terms of card levels, I don't think we have any new epic cards unlocked, but we have been slowly just kind of working on these levels. So the highest level we have right now is Slow Aura and Health, both at level 5. Yeah, slowly but surely just working on it. And with that, that's actually going to cover it for the cards. I do also have a tournament set up. This is what I used this past tournament. Pretty similar stuff, but just basically taking out the econ stuff with an exception of enemy balance and cash. Both of these are important just so that I can make sure I have enough cash to properly upgrade my health. Likewise, I have things like Plasma Cannon, Berserker, Second Wind, and now, because we have a new card slot available, we're going to throw something else in here. I think we will do Wave Skip, so that we can just hopefully get lucky, maybe skip some boss waves, just push ourselves a little bit further. And now that that is finished, let's go ahead and talk about the modules. Alright, so here are the modules that we got going on. We're still kind of using this basic setup for farming. I was experimenting, as you saw, with Multiverse Nexus, but we're not quite there. So, the Legendary Astral Deliverance has been really, really great, like I mentioned, just in terms of keeping the enemies away. I have a 2% bounce shot chance increase, which is, you know, it's fine. Likewise, our Anti-Q Portal, we have the Epic stat for defense percentage, which is really great. We also have a defense absolute. And we have a health regen. I may try to change this for something else in the near future, I don't know. But for now, this is kind of what we got going on. Let's go ahead and talk about the Black Hole Digester. This is actually a really, really good pull. So I got free attack upgrades, which will help me with getting more damage for the lifesteal. We also have a coins per kill bonus and a free utility upgrades, which will help me, of course, with the enemy attack level skips, which literally make or break a game. But this has been a really good module so far. We're getting temporarily 3% extra coins per kill bonus for each free upgrade that we get during the current wave. So it's not super consistent at the moment, but in terms of other generators, I really don't have a better option to farm with at the moment. I did manage to pull a project funding, which will be helpful in the future when we get to the point of kind of running more hybrids / glass cannon builds, but for the meantime, this is just going to sit way in the back burner. And with that, that's actually going to cover the modules. Let's talk about the labs. So the labs, we have been doing a lot of stuff. So I think the easiest way to explain this, I kind of touched on this briefly during a live stream, but the way that I am structuring my labs is very, very specifically. First and foremost, we have lab speed. This will effectively be a permanent lab that I want to keep in here, because the value that you get from the lab speed lab is just, it's just so good. It's really, really good. In addition to that, we have a lab currently allocated to basically ultimate weapon stuff. So right now it's doing black hole damage. The last level in that will be really great to get done for killing those protector enemies. After this, I will likely try to start working on some of the ultimate weapon coin bonus labs, because I think that will be pretty helpful as well. In addition to that, we have lab 4 with coins per kill bonus. This is going to be my primary econ lab. Mainly just focusing on coins per kill, getting it up to a pretty high level, and then maybe pivoting and working on some of the ultimate weapon bonuses. Different things like that. In addition, kind of complementing the lab 3, like we're talking about. Lab 5 is going to be my EHP lab, focusing on things like defense percentage. Getting this up to level 23 as quickly as possible will really, really help me. After that, I'll probably throw in either health or death wave health, health regen, something like that. Just something to overall give me a better shot with the EHP build. Lab 1, currently I have death wave health on. I just wanted to get a few levels into this, and then I'm going to switch back to a module. Module labs are super, super important. Why is it not working? There we go. So I've already started to do quite a few levels of the common drop chance. This is definitely one I want to finish maxing out. We're going to try to get a good baseline in reroll shards and daily mission shards until we're able to afford the rare drop chance. As soon as we're able to start buying the rare drop chance and it, actually makes sense to do so, we're going to start doing that and try to max it out. These module labs are super, super critical. The module shard cost is also pretty good, but that one is probably the least important out of all of these 4. So the main ones you want to start with is common drop chance first. Then you'd like to get a good baseline in daily mission shards, reroll shards, and then when it makes sense, try to max out rare drop chance. After you max out rare drop chance, jump back to daily mission shards and reroll shards. But the main point that I'm trying to convey is having your labs structured in such a way that you just have balance. There's no really better way to put it. Balance is name of the game with this game. Like, it just is. So, trying to have a little bit of each different category of the game being worked on all at the same time, it really helps. And that doesn't mean that there's ever a time, like there's going to be times where, for example, maybe you've heavily neglected your econ stuff. So in that case, you could just have like all 5 of your labs doing various econ labs, like coins per kill, maybe a golden bot lab, maybe a ultimate weapon lab, different things like that. But there's all of these different labs. My game is kind of bugged. I don't really know what's going on. There we go. Yeah, like golden tower duration, golden tower bonus, death wave coin bonus, death wave cells, wherever that is, somewhere in here. But yeah, overall, just try to have some form of structure, some form of overall balance will be really helpful. And with that, that's actually going to cover the labs. Let's go ahead and talk about the tournaments. Alright, so in terms of the tournaments, we are still in Gold League. Things are kind of going good. We had a new personal best this past tournament. We got rank 18 and finished at 246 waves. Really helpful. I will say probably the major contributor, and this was actually somebody during the live stream, basically told me that I need to put in the Berserker card because of the extra damage I would get, which would then translate basically to EHP in the form of lifesteal. And to my surprise, it made a pretty big difference, because all of these tournaments before, I had not had the Berserker card even unlocked, I believe. But I threw it in for this tournament, and we got a personal best in both rank and waves. So, definitely not going to complain about that. Really good. And with that, that's actually going to cover the tournaments. Let's go ahead and talk about the events. Alright, so as I mentioned, we're still not purchasing like the event boosts or anything like that. So not concerned whatsoever. Just not doing it on this account. I'm trying to make this as authentic as possible, while still making it valuable and entertaining for you guys who are maybe newer to the game. So in terms of the events, we've actually been able to finish quite a few of these. So my overall strategy, right, is starting with the buy 80 cards. I save up my gems, I buy 80 cards worth, and then I basically buy the equivalent of modules. And the reason for that is so that I have enough rare modules available to complete this mission when and if it ever pops up, like it did this time. Obtain 40 modules by merging. So that's super easy at this stage of the game. You hit the merge button, go to auto merge, and you really have no issue with auto merging. Some people get kind of scared about it, but you don't really ever have to worry about auto merging. And then after that, I basically saved up for enough gems to get another card slot. So that, again, kind of like I touched on with the labs, balance. Balance is super important. But with that, we should be able to do a few more of these missions. I might be able to do like the first tier of the kill enemies with nuke. Actually, I don't even know if I have the nuke card. I do not have nuke. Okay. So we won't be able to do that mission, but that's okay. We could probably... Yeah, we can't really do any of these. I don't have demon mode either. But we'll be able to complete these, I believe. We should be able to. So that might get us enough to... Oh, actually, yeah, we went ahead and already claimed both of these. So we got the knockback force. We also got the thorns. Really helpful. In terms of the event shop, I think what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and buy the golden bot. I think we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and buy the golden bot, and I'm not going to spend the rest of these medals because there's only 3 days left until the event resets. So I'm going to start saving whatever extra medals so that I can basically instantly buy the tower and background theme. Again, always double check and see if you have a relic for lab speed or coin bonus. If you ever get a relic with either of those two, I would suggest getting those before you get the themes, but try to make sure that you always have enough to buy both of the themes, the tower and the background. It's a coin multiplier. It all adds up together to give you this little number. You can see the themes bonus right here. But yeah, that's actually going to cover it for the events. Let's go ahead and talk about the guild content. So shout out to Towers Anonymous. We got a new member. Where's he at? There he is. This guy right here. Morvo. Been pretty good. A lot of these guys have been kind of killing it with the stuff. So really happy with that. At this point we have all of the cosmetics, which is great. There's one thing that we're missing. We could get the bounty chip if we wanted to, but for the meantime I'm pretty much focused on fetch. I think it just makes the most sense for me to kind of dial in and focus on fetch. But yeah, we did go ahead and get the World Domination Tower Health. It would be really nice to be able to get the Brave Heroes. I don't know if we'll be able to actually do that. That's the issue. But it's okay. I'm not overly concerned about it. In terms of the Guardians, I think we're going to go ahead and try to put another level into the Find chance. So my main goal is trying to get this as high as possible so that I can get all of these daily caps. You get a lot of free value from the Fetch chip. So my main goal at the moment is getting my Find chance up to 24 and my double Find chance to 10. Maybe drop my cooldown to about 110 seconds, something like that. But overall, my primary goal with this is just to make sure I get all of the gems, all of the medals, and all of these modules. That would be really, really nice. And by the way, if you're still watching, thank you guys for watching this long. Drop a comment down below and just let me know what you are doing with your gems currently. Are you saving up for the new banner that'll be coming out here shortly? Are you getting card slots? Just let me know what you're doing. And with that, that's actually going to conclude this video. But huge shout out to all of you guys who did stick around this long. I really do appreciate it. I do live stream the tournament runs for the baby account. So if you guys want to see that, I stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So feel free to pop in. I usually start with my main account first, and then after that we'll do the baby account. So yeah, if you ever want to join that tournament and just kind of see what I'm doing in Gold League, feel free to stop by. And with that, happy tower defending. I hope that you guys all have a great day, and like always, I will see you guys later.